going on, guys? It's your boy Shtonez coming at you again with another video. Today we're doing something a little different. I'm gonna walk you guys through how I organize my files on my external hard drive, how I go about the importing process, little tips and tricks that I've found throughout the past 3 to 4 years that I've been doing video. And yeah, let's just hop straight into it. All right, so of course the first step is import your SD card. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Now on this SD card, I just went ahead and put a couple files. But before we go into that, I'm just gonna walk you through briefly what is going on here. So this is my external hard drive. And on this external hard drive, we've got 5 folders. So the first one is photo, second is projects, third is travels, then we've got random, and then Premiere Pro stuff. So in the first one, of course, it's got some photo files, photography shoots. All of that is in here. Each file has its own template. So this template, of course, is simple. It's just raw and edits. Nothing crazy there. You import your raw photos here, go to Lightroom, whatever you edit on, and export your edited photos into there. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You know, actually, I don't have it in here, but sometimes I do have a finals folder. Sometimes clients will want retouches. And so I'll deliver the edits first, and then they'll ask to retouch or whatever. If I need to retouch, then I'll put those retouch ones into the finals, and then I'll deliver these as the final product. Okay, that's that. Next, we've got projects. This one is got its own template, and I'll walk through that in a second. I've got this split up into my YouTube content, my client work, and then this is just like random stuff, but it's strictly video files. But we'll go straight into the template. So here we've got all of our stuff that holds our major content for Premiere Pro project files. So the first is additions. I have this grid in here. Sometimes whenever I'm trying to focus on composition, I'm trying to see my rule of thirds, see how things are looking with this on top of it. Then of course right here, I've got widescreen, black bars in case I need to add that. So that's just in the template because that can go into every single project, of course. But this pictures file, this solely holds any photos that I took at the actual site or shoot. So if I did a photo shoot along with a video shoot, I would put those files into there, and that's pretty self-explanatory again. This is just the Premiere Pro file, just a template. And then in the thumbnail folder, this just kind of holds my template for thumbnail files. So this just basically helps skip a process in Photoshop whenever I'm ready to do my thumbnails. I don't have to go in and type in the dimensions and do all that, which is not crazy, but it just helps you save some time. So if I wanted to put a photo in here, all I would have to do is, let's say this is a photo I took at the shoot. I can just drag it over, fix the dimension or the positioning, move it however I wanted to, and literally all I would do is just export it back into the thumbnail folder. So that's what the thumbnail folder is. Let's go ahead and exit out of this. Okay, and then of course, this last folder is for video, which we'll get to that here in a bit. Then next after projects, we've got travels. Obviously, COVID has been getting in the way of any sort of traveling, so not really any content there. Then of course the random folder, this is just random stuff. For the random folder, I really just kind of put a bunch of random stuff in it, hence the name. But those are just for like memory's sake, like not really things that I'm really shooting for a specific reason, just because I only shot it because I wanted to have those memories for the future or something. So that's what that folder is for. And then of course, this Premiere Pro file has everything that's Premiere Pro related in it. So I've got my LUTs in there, overlays, presets, titles, transitions, YouTube icons, and sound effects, stuff like that. Okay, so now that y'all know what's going on here, we can go ahead and jump into it. So let's go ahead and open up our SD card. Now, unfortunately, I'm not sure how this is for Sony people. I think Sony has to deal with some similar issue as this, but whenever I shoot 10-bit files on my GH5S, it doesn't allow me to just preview the file. It doesn't allow me to preview anything, but I do have a little pro tip for y'all GH5 users out there. So I downloaded this program that I found online, and it's called Video Compress Pro. But basically what this does is it allows me to preview whatever I want. So let's say I've got like 80 files into this folder right here, and I'm just wanting to reference a certain file for some reason. All I would have to do is just click and drag, and then I can just play. Obviously it's a little laggy, as you can see, but it gets the job done. Okay, so let's go ahead and import these files. Let's just make a new folder. So this is my little step-by-step process every single time. So I go to my external hard drive, I go to projects, and I just click, I hold Option and drag so that it can copy and paste. The videos that we're going to be using are a couple videos, clips that I got from the apartment tour video. If y'all haven't seen that yet, y'all should go check it out for sure. We're super proud of this apartment and it's super dope. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out. I'll put a little link right here, wherever. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just do it as if I'm starting this project over again. So I always name my files and start it off with the month that I shot it in. I feel like it's easier to reference when I shot something than whatever name it is. So for this sake, it's July apartment tour. All right, and then let's go ahead and import the files. Another pro tip for you Apple users. I didn't learn about this until like 2 years after having a MacBook, and I wish I would have learned it way sooner. For the longest time, I dealt with so many issues accidentally formatting my SD card, thinking that I imported the files already. This happened like, so stressful. Probably 2 times. I think one time I did a graduation photo shoot and I accidentally formatted the card. I went crazy, I lost it, I was damn near in tears. And luckily I figured out a way to get those files back, but don't do that to yourself. Here's the trick. All you do is you copy your files, and instead of just pasting, what you want to do is right after this window pops up, you want to hold Option. So literally I'm going to press on and off. You hold Option and you press move. Instead of paste, you want to move the items there. And what that does is that guarantees that your files are secure and for sure moving over to your hard drive. You don't ever want to be in the situation where you think that you've copied and pasted it and then later formatted the card and realize that you didn't save it. It'll literally ruin your week, not just your day, your whole week. Just don't do it to yourselves. All right, files are imported. Now the next step is to go ahead and rename this Premiere profile, and let's just name it Apartment V1. V just stands for version. Go ahead and open the file. I'm still getting used to this whole update, the Premiere profile. I feel like this little logo looks worse than it did before, but I don't know, maybe I'm just biased. All right, so over here, you're gonna see some correlation to the files that I've already explained here. I'll go ahead and explain all this right here first before I import. So audio, which is separated into music and sound effects. I do have some templated sound effects that I have saved. It's just easier to find it there in case I need to use something there. I've got it split up to ambience, cars, cartoons, cinematics, all kinds of stuff. Then of course, all my music that I would use in the file would go into this folder. Over here, obviously this is all my video content strictly from the shoot. Whatever I'm importing from my SD card would go into that file. And then the additions folder, let me talk about this one for a second. So the additions folder will host all of the additional pieces that you want to add to your project. Let's say you wanted to add a thumbs up right here at the bottom left screen. You could do that. And I would put that thumb emoji into the additions folder. All sort of content, random stuff, additional stuff goes into the additions folder. And you'll see here that I have these adjustment layers. It just makes it easier whenever you're adding a new adjustment layer. Depending upon what sequence you want to add it to, you have to worry about different dimensions and that kind of thing. You'll recognize the grid in the widescreen. You can't see it yet, but those are the things that I was telling you about here. And those are in every single project, just in case I need to reference it or use black bars. I love to just have as minimal amount of folders as possible. So let's say I'm shooting a video and I just got like 40 additional pieces to add on top of it. Instead of just worrying about opening the additions folder and seeing every single little thing, after each piece that I use, I drag it over to the used folder and it just sits in there and I don't have to worry about seeing it. So if I have like, let's say a bunch of emojis, if I use the emoji only once, then what's the point of seeing it again? I just throw it in the used folder. Okay, moving on. So next, these are all my sequences that I've templated for myself. This is just a cinematic. Instead of doing the black bars, you could do it how they are supposed to do it. This is how they do it in movies, and they don't just add black bars, they actually do the dimensions. I don't really use that much because I feel like it's just easier to use the black bars, but do what you want to do. Next, we've got formats for the IG story. You'll see the difference between this one and the Instagram vertical right here. The Instagram vertical is a little bit wider and not so narrow. But yeah, I've just got these different sequences with different dimensions so that I can just immediately go into working. I don't have to worry about opening up a new sequence, creating the dimension, and doing all that. And also the same concept here. There are times where I have like literally 50 nested sequences because of just warp stabilization and other reasons like that. But basically every nested sequence gets thrown into this folder so that whenever I do have 50 nested sequences, I'm not opening the sequences folder and just seeing a million files because it gives me anxiety. Too much anxiety. Over here, we've got the dynamic links in case we want to do some After Effects projects. Next, over here, we've got the pictures. It's the same thing over here in this folder right here. I just drag everything over there that I need to. But this pictures folder only holds pictures that I took on the photo shoot. It doesn't just hold additional photos that I found online. Like let's say if I was using a photo for B-roll, I would put the photo for B-roll in the additions folder, not the pictures folder. This just kind of keeps it organized for me to where I'm not all over the place. Next, we've got text titles. That's self-explanatory. Whenever we have titles, you just throw that in there. And then of course, lastly, we've got logos. I've already got my logos in here. That's black, you can't see it, but I've got my logos in here already, but whenever I do client work, I include their logos in there as well. Okay, cool. So now we can go ahead and import everything. This video is 4K 10-bit. So what I would do is, since I know I'm working with 4K, I'm gonna go ahead and delete all of these right here because I don't care about it yet. Less is always more. Less always keeps me less anxious. That's the best way for me to work on anything, because if I don't, I'm just all over the place. So of course, import the video content. So these are our 3 files. Just click and drag. And then that of course pops up and we've got our content showing up here. Now what I would typically do after this is I would go ahead and open these in the source monitor, which is this little thing here. And I would just go through and start making my cuts and put it onto here. But I'm gonna cut it off there. I will save that for another video. I just kind of wanted to show y'all my import process and how I go about organizing all of my files. This has been my process that I've developed over the past 4 years or so. When I first started, I was so lost. I had no idea what you should even be a folder. I didn't know how to separate things other than just photo and video. But this has helped me immensely in my creative workflow. It has helped me stay organized every single time that I need to go back and look at something on my old hard drive. It's all set up the same way, so I know exactly where every single thing is. And this has literally helped me so much. But anyways, guys, if y'all enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. If y'all want to see more future content like this, please let me know in the comments. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that, as well as pressing that notification button so you can see when I upload new videos. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all got something out of this. And I will see y'all in the next video. See ya! By the way, guys, just another pro tip. Whenever you're shooting a video like this, make sure that your microphones are on. What y'all just watched was the second take of what I already did. Make sure that your microphones are on before you record for like 30 minutes. It'll save you a lot of time, trust me. All right, guys, peace.